Greg Olsen here from Fox Sports. He and Kevin Burkhardt are calling Thursday Night Football tonight on the Triplecast, a huge game between the Titans and the 49ers. These are two of the most physical teams in the league, too. There's going to be a lot of paint swapping tonight, I would imagine. Don't you think, sir? Tonight?
Oh, man, these two teams kind of, when they look in the mirror, they see each other. They're both kind of made out of the same kind of mold, and they both have kind of the same beliefs. And, Tennessee's been doing it for, ever since, Vrabel has gotten there. And then we all know the identity. We've seen it now for a few years with the run game in San Francisco and what they can do with their front on defense and their linebackers and Bosa and Warner and Eric Armstead. I mean, they're just physical, big guys on both sides of both teams. And, I think there's going to be a fair share of handoffs tonight.
Yep. And
I think there's going to be a fair share of physical play, the offensive, defensive lines. It's going to be we're really looking forward to this game. We think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Put into words how good Kittle is, Greg. You must obviously have a unique perspective. Put into words.
God, he's really just such a – I know the word unique gets thrown around so, nonchalant, and especially probably during a broadcast. We probably refer to 10 guys a game as unique. But if there ever was a player at a position who was truly unique, Kittle would be that. What he can do, and the best way I could put it is he is the perfect tight end to play in that style. He is just as much of a threat to impact the game as a run blocker and as a pass protector and as a physical presence as he is with the ball in his hand, down the field, run after catch. They almost use him like a pseudo wide receiver running back with the swing screens, and then when he gets the ball, he turns into a running back. It's just there's not a lot of guys that can check all those different boxes, play with finesse, play with speed, but then also play with violence and physicality, both run game as a blocker and as a ball carrier. It's just he is super unique. He's really, really fun to watch. I hope they throw him 300 balls tonight,
right?
Selfishly, because it'd be a lot of fun to talk about.
Well, I mean, and you want to talk about unique. How about a Pro Bowl wide receiver who makes a group that includes Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson, and he leads the team in rushing touchdowns? How about that at a Deebo? You want to talk about unique,
I mean, Deebo, and the stat that, we get all these stats all week as we're preparing for these games. And, some of these stats you can make, more than maybe they are. But I think the stat that really caught my eye and jumped off the page at me, when they factor in minimum carries or minimum catches of 25 each, he leads the entire NFL in both yards per catch and yards per carry.
That's amazing.
I think that right there just sums up, he's physical, and he's not playing like pseudo running back where it's like trick plays and reverses. He's lining up, he's dotting the I in a single back or a two back, and he's playing true conventional tailback in the truest sense. It's pretty remarkable what they've done with him from a scheme standpoint, but also just how good he is physically to handle all that.
He's amazing, man. And so, I guess what's the difference maker tonight for Tennessee? Is it the way that Tannehill can handle the pressure without the guys up front, right? I mean, there's a couple guys missing on that line. What's the difference maker for Tennessee? That Foreman can run the ball for him? Because it just strikes me that the as stout as Tennessee is and how they keep playing without a lot of their guys, that the Niners, the way they're playing, is just going to come running downhill, and it'll be tough to stop. That's just my sense.
It will, and even with Derrick Henry out, they've been pretty true to their identity on offense, and that's been heavy dose of run, heavy dose of under center, downhill run game, and then hopefully for them, the formula had always been in years past that everything kind of layers off of that, the downfield play action, the shot plays. Well, now with A.J. Brown being out for a few weeks and Julio kind of being in and out with the hamstring, whether they play tonight, I guess we'll see. If those guys can be in the lineup, and again, we'll find out when the inactives come out. If they're in the lineup, can there be some element to complement that run game of some explosive, throws down the field? They have to find a way to generate the ability to push the ball downfield and not make every drive 10-plus, 12-plus, 15-plus plays. The longer these drives go, yes, time of possession is a factor people talk about and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, the longer the drives are sustained, the higher the likelihood of something going wrong. A sack, a strip sack, a pick, a tackle for loss. Something's going to go awry. You need to be able at some point to get chunk plays and push the ball down the field. That's been what they've been missing. If those guys can play and they can layer that in like they used to when they had Derrick Henry and that threat of the run, I think that will go a long way in being able to attack this San Francisco defense, especially in the back end.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.